Labor is promising Dunedin will get a new $1.4 billion central city hospital in its first term of government, entirely funded by the taxpayer in a bid to woo southern voters plagued by surgery delays. The party today took its scalpel out to National's promise to rebuild Dunedin Hospital within 7 to 10 years, possibly through a public-private partnership. While Labor was focused on healthcare, National was also in the south, committing to charging international tourists double what they pay now to use the country's great walks. Here's Jacob McSweeney with a roundup of today's political action.
I got a little snippet of it on Instagram. There we go. Here we are.
As Labor leader Jacinda Ardern tried to make an announcement about a new hospital for Dunedin, she was followed by a crowd of about 400 students and locals chanting her name. She then turned around and told reporters how Labor would go about building a new $1.4 billion hospital in the city.
First of all, we're committing to making sure that the hospital is built in the city. We do not believe it should be a PPP. That means that we'll be able to deliver the hospital much earlier than the government is promising.
Jacinda Ardern says the project is long overdue, and if elected to government, a working group focused on the new hospital would immediately be formed with local councils, DHBs, Otago University and the Health Ministry. At the other end of the country, Labor's transport spokesperson Michael Wood announced the party would put $30 million towards the Skypath, a walking and cycling pathway over the Auckland Harbour Bridge.
What we need on a major project like this that will transform life for the better is some leadership, and the Labour Party will provide that leadership. And so what I am absolutely delighted to announce today is that the Labour Party will fund Skypath.
The Skypath project has resource consent, but the government has yet to pledge any funding for it. Michael Wood says the party will also renew the $100 million Urban Cycleways Fund for another 3 years and establish a new fund to encourage cycling and walking at a neighbourhood level. Walking was also on National leader Bill English's agenda in Queenstown, where he announced a plan to double the price that international tourists pay on New Zealand's 5 most popular Great Walks. They are the Milford, Routeburn, Kepler, Abel Tasman and Tongariro.
We've worked out that the Great Walks, popular as they are globally, actually make a $1 million loss. We believe it's fair that those who are willing to travel around the world to have those experiences help us with the real cost of maintaining those walks. So the $4 million that is raised from that will be directly recycled back into the maintenance of those assets.
The doubling of the charge from $70 to $140 to use huts for those Great Walks would come into effect from October next year. Fees for the remaining Great Walks and backcountry hut passes would cost 50% more. The government will also double the Department of Conservation's community funds from $4.6 million to $10 million a year. For Checkpoint, Jacob McSweeney.